I see many videos out there that claim Dungeons and Dragons is over, that there is somehow a major scandal and that it's just somehow gotten worse, or that Wizards of the Coast is striving to make a monopoly out of Dungeons and Dragons. GameMasters here, and none of that is even remotely true. Yes, we had a big issue with the open gaming license, and we've been a vocal lot in regards to the quality of some of the products. But name one thing out there made by a major company that pleases 100% of the people. Second to that, show me a billion-dollar brand that doesn't have folks out there wanting to take it down. The bottom line is, Dungeons & Dragons isn't facing any kind of scandal, other than what a handful of creators are attempting to create for themselves. One D&D's virtual tabletop, for example, is still very much in its alpha phase and continues to be tested. Yes, some creators are taking that alpha state of it and are citing that D&D's entire future is going to burn to the ground because it's missing an animation. That hardly constitutes as being inexcusable, or being so bad that it somehow has already destroyed the entire D&D brand. In Hasbro's most recent shareholder meeting, held on October 26th, just a few weeks back, Gina Goetter, Hasbro's chief financial officer, stated that Hasbro's overall revenue of $1.5 billion was down 10% from last year, but that Wizards of the Coast's revenue has increased 40%. She added that as far as tabletop revenue goes, that both Magic and D&D added 14 points of growth. I'm not attempting to be a cheerleader here for Wizards or Hasbro. I'm just looking at the landscape. And when I see creators being sensational for sake of views, well, it's just not a good look. It's spreading a false narrative. They may not like the direction that D&D is headed, and that's perfectly fine to hold that opinion. But when that opinion is presented as fact, Hasbro is killing the brand, it's not fact. I strive to never condescend to topics that I talk about, nor do I want to ridicule other creators or the players who choose to play whatever system they want to play, be it the Cypher system from Monte Cook Games, or Pathfinder from Paizo, or Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards. I'm a human being, and I've got passions of my own, but my channel is here to present information and to get viewers thinking. I want everyone watching to feel comfortable even when we discuss uncomfortable topics. I'll stand my ground. I won't allow myself to be an easy target to be exploited, and I fully understand that there are some people out there that just don't like that. But I won't condescend or ridicule. I will research on my own, and I'll present my findings here to my viewers. I don't buy into the sensational doom and gloom that some creators use as a tactic just to get subscribers and views. I get it. I can't deny that that does work. Channels that I've run across that go super sensational with how bad or how much worse Hasbro is doing, their videos gets tens of thousands of views, which I think is fantastic for them. But I think that it's misrepresenting the landscape and will ultimately do more harm than good for the gaming industry as a whole. If you don't like Dungeons & Dragons, great. There's nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of other role-playing games out there to play, but to claim that because the alpha version of the VTT lacks animation on how something pops up from the ground, and then basing the entire future of D&D off of that, and that alone, is somehow going to completely destroy D&D in some apocalyptic eruption of fire, it's creating fiction. So here's a piece of unsolicited advice to creators who cover these games and businesses with a snarky attitude. You're making the story about you, and that's a mistake. I'm all for calling out a company when the company has blatantly done something wrong that affects the brand as a whole. Let's never forget about the OGL disaster. Let's never forget about the Pinkerton scandal. Let's not forget about the $1,000 Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary price tag. And let's not forget that while we're currently in the middle of what has been Magic's 30th year anniversary, we've not seen anything about that created to celebrate it at all. Let's instead be vocal about those issues and not fabricate issues for sake of being sensationalistic just to chase views and subscribers, which is a great segue into me putting up this ask. If you like this video, tap that thumbs up button. And while I'm at it, I need to give major thanks to my honesty supporters. Their contributions to this channel are outstanding, and I cannot thank them enough. If you'd like to see how you can support this channel by becoming a YouTube or Patreon member, I'll leave a link down in the description. Games like Dragonbane, Mortborg, Pirate Borg, Pathfinder, even older games like Vampire the Masquerade are always going to present an alternative to Dungeons and Dragons. You'll never see a world in which there is a gruesome battle where all other tabletop games are destroyed and D&D comes out as a singular victor. It may be the most popular game of its kind at the moment, but it does have its challengers. The Monty Cook Cypher system, we mentioned that a minute ago. That game has a lineup that is certainly a fun alternative to D&D. And in the coming months, I'm even going to be diving deep into that exact game system. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see some fun content about that. This is all to say, you all, the viewers, you're all smart folks. I think you recognize sensationalism when you see it. I may have even included some in this video today. You know how to research on your own accord, and you are capable of forming your own opinion of a company's business practice. Ultimately, it is up to you to decide if D&D is doomed. If you choose to play it, then it's not. If you choose to never buy product from Wizards ever again, then from that perspective, yeah, it's doomed. Of that, I can say this. With Wizards seeing an increase in revenue of 40% from last year, it's not going anywhere, no matter how bad people want it to simply die. And that's the greatest thing. You and you alone can choose what game you want to play, regardless of what anyone else's perceived view is. Until next our paths cross, may you have a grand adventure playing the system that brings you joy.